Hello, I am Dr. E. Srinivasa, working as an assistant professor in physics. In this video, I am going to explain some concept of astrophysics, which is a chapter for 3rd BSc Physics 5th Sem students for paper 5 prescribed by Kuvempu University. The session number 40. So the name of the paper is Atomic Physics, Spectroscopy, Lasers and Astrophysics. In this paper, I am explaining only the concept of the chapter Astrophysics. The learning objectives are explanation of internal pressure of a star, photon diffusion time, explanation and derivation and calculation in the case of Sun, mass luminosity relation for a star and explanation. What are the prerequisites? Concept of HR diagram, mass, mean density, radius and temperature of Sun, internal temperature of a star in terms of temperature of the Sun. The session outcomes are, from this session, students will be able to understand expression for internal pressure of a star. So there is no derivation, only qualitative explanation. Photon diffusion time, explanation and also derivation. Derivation and calculation in the case of Sun for photon diffusion time. Mass luminosity relation for a star, both derivation and explanation. So what is the internal pressure of a star? Dear students, we know that interior of a star contains a mixture of ions, electrons and radiation consists of photons. For most stars, exception very low mass stars and stellar remnants, the ions and electrons can be treated as an ideal gas. For most stars, the ions and electrons can be treated as an ideal gas and quantum effects can be neglected. Therefore, total pressure inside the star P is equal to Pi plus Pe plus Pr, where Pi plus Pe is called ideal gas, that is pressure of an ideal gas, plus Pr, pressure due to radiation, photons. So P is equal to P gas plus P radiation. Here Pi is the pressure of the ions, Pe is the electron pressure and Pr is the radiation pressure. So total pressure P is equal to Pi, pressure of the ions, plus pressure of electrons, plus pressure of radiation pressure, that is photons. But pressure of ions plus pressure of electrons are treated as an ideal gas. Therefore, the sum of these two can be written as pressure exerted by the gas plus pressure exerted by the radiation. In a star, the star's internal gravity supplies the inward compression. The greater gravity compression raises the density of the gas. So in this diagram, so there are atoms and molecules, electrons, etc. Due to large mass of the star, there is a large gravity. That gravity attracted toward the center. So due to which the pressure and temperature inside the star rises and hence thermonuclear reactions takes place. That is, nuclear fusion takes place at higher temperature, gives rise to a large amount of energy in the form of heat and radiations. So this causes an outward radiation pressure. In a stable star, this strong gravity is balanced by this outward radiation pressure. In order to balance the greater gravity compression, the outward pressure of the gas and radiation is increased by raising the temperature. The average pressure and temperature of the star are considered, then the average pressure is given by P average is equal to 3 gm square over 16 pi r to the power of 4. The pressure inside the star is directly proportional to square of the mass of the star and inversely proportional to fourth power of the radius of the star. Here the pressure inside the star is first one directly proportional to square of its mass, that is m square, and the second point is inversely proportional to the fourth power of its radius. Therefore, the average power of any star in terms of the parameter of the sun can be written as, if you take P average is proportional to m square by r to the power of 4 for any star, and Ps is equal to ms square over rs whole to the power of 4. Divide these two equations, you will get P average of the star is equal to m by ms whole square into rs by r whole to the power of 4 into pressure of the sun average. Here ms is the mass of the sun, m is the mass of the star, P average is the average power of the star, and rs is the radius of the sun, and r is the radius of the star, and Ps is the average pressure of the sun. The pressure at the center is given by Pc, the pressure at the core or center is equal to 3 gm square over pi r to the power of 4. The internal pressure of the sun at a distance r is given by, that is pressure at any point from the center inside the star is given by P of r, pressure at any point, is equal to Pc, pressure at the center or core, into 1 minus r by r, where capital R is the radius of the star and small r is the distance of the point from the center. Photon diffusion time. So the average time taken by a photon to travel from the center of the star or sun to its surface due to random walking is called photon diffusion time. So we know that photons are produced at the core of the star due to thermonuclear reactions, that is nuclear reactions taking place at very high temperature called nuclear fusion. Photons move from the core towards outer surface of the star. The photons get scattered large number of times by the electrons before reaching the surface. This results in an apparent dance-like motion of the photons inside the sun. This dance-like motion of the photons is called random walk. The photons travel along the zigzag path from the core of the sun to the sun's surface or star's surface. The average time taken by a photon to travel from the center of the star, that is our sun, to its surface due to random walking is called photon diffusion time. The amount of energy radiated out per second from the surface of a star is called its luminosity L. So the photon diffusion time is also defined as the ratio of the total radiant energy E contained in the volume of the star to the luminosity L of the star, that is tau. The photon diffusion time is equal to E by L, called this as equation 1. The amount of light energy given out by a star in all directions per unit time is called luminosity L, and by Stephen's law it is given by L is equal to 4 pi r square sigma t to the power of 4. Stephen's fourth power law is defined as energy emitted per second per unit area is directly proportional to fourth power of the absolute temperature. But energy given out in all directions per unit time is given by L, and it is given by the luminosity L is equal to sigma A t to the power of 4, where A is equal to 4 pi r square since stars are spherical in shape. Here R is the radius of the star and capital T is the surface temperature of the star and sigma is the Stephen's constant. The energy density of the radiation, which is a function of the temperature T of R, is defined as U is equal to 4 by C into T to the power of 4, or call this as equation 3. Here C is the velocity of light. According to the linear star model, the relation between the core temperature Tc and the varying temperature T of R is given by T of R is equal to Tc into 1 minus small r by capital R. Call this as equation 4, and also you are already derived in the expression for internal temperature of a star. So therefore substitute for T of R in the equation 3. Substitute for it in 3, will get energy density U is equal to 4 sigma by C into Tc to the power of 4 into 1 minus small r by capital R all to the power of 4. We are substituting for T of R equation 4 in 3, will get the equation number 5. The total radiant energy is given by E is equal to integration of U dV. That is integration of U, substitute for U, 4 sigma by C, Tc to the power of 4 into 1 minus R by R all to the power of 4 into dV. The total radiant energy is given by this equation, but this dV is equal to 4 pi r square dr. So E is equal to, substitute for dV in this equation as 4 pi r square dr, we will get this equation 16 pi into sigma by C Tc to the power of 4 into integration of 1 minus r by capital R all to the power of 4 into this r square dr, and 4 pi is multiplied to here 4, that is 16 pi. E is equal to, after integrating through a number of steps and simplification, we will get E is equal to 16 pi sigma over 105 C r cube Tc to the power of 4, call this as equation number 6. For the Sun, E is equal to 1.4 into 10 to the power of 39 and Tc is equal to 15 into 10 to the power of 6 Kelvin. Substituting E and L from equation 6 and 2 in equation 1, we know that equation number 1 is photon diffusion time tau is equal to E by L. From the equation 6, we get the expression for E. From equation 2, that is L is equal to 4 pi r square sigma T to the power of 4. So the equation for 1 becomes tau is equal to E from equation 6, 16 pi sigma over 105 C r cube Tc to the power of 4. We are substituting E for E from the equation 6. And for L from equation 2, L is equal to 4 pi r square sigma T to the power of 4. Substitute for L, we will get 4 pi r square sigma T to the power of 4. After simplification, 4 pi 1s are 4s are 16 pi, and all things cancelled, r square and r square will cancel, only remaining is r, and here Tc to the power of 4 and T to the power of 4 will be there, and also sigma and sigma will get cancelled. So we will get photon diffusion time tau is equal to 4r by 105 C into Tc over T to the power of 4. Substitute the value of radius of the Sun and velocity of light, core temperature of the Sun, that is 15 into 10 power 6 Kelvin, and T at any temperature, surface temperature. So after simplification, we get for the Sun, the photon diffusion time tau is equal to 3.46 into 10 to the power of 12 second, that is equal to 1.2 into 10 to the power of 5 years. That is, the photon produced at this core of the Sun reaches the surface of the sun after 1.2 into 10 to the power of 5 years. This is the largest time the photon takes to travel from center to its surface. Mass luminosity relation for a star. The photon diffusion time is defined as ratio of the total radiant energy contained in the volume of the star to the luminosity L of the star. We already derived this equation. So that is tau is equal to E by L, energy by luminosity. Call this as equation number 1. From this equation, we can equate for luminosity, that is luminosity is equal to E by tau. So luminosity is equal to E by tau from this equation 1. Also we know that in the last slide, the expression for energy is 16 pi sigma over 105 C into R cube Tc to the power of 4. Call this as equation number 3. From this equation, so here 16 pi sigma over 105 C is a constant. So E is proportional to R cube Tc to the power of 4. E is proportional to R cube Tc to the power of 4. Call this is equation number 1. And also we know that expression for average temperature of the star is given by Gm mu mh over 4kr, and also T of r is equal to Tc into 1 minus small r by capital R. From this equation we get Tc is proportional to m by r. This Tc can be taken as average temperature is directly proportional to mass of the star and inversely proportional to radius of the star. Substitute this equation in for Tc. So here Tc to the power of 4, so m to the power of 4 or r to the power of 4. So hence E is proportional to m to the power of 4 or r to the power of 4, and also there is an r cube and r cube will get cancelled. We'll get E is proportional to m to the power of 4 by r. Call this as equation number 5. Mass luminosity relation of a star continues. Take the another concept. The mean free path of the diffusing photon is defined as the distance travelled by the photon between its two successive scatterings or collisions. It is denoted by S. The photon diffusion time is also given by, it is the average time taken by the photon between any two collisions or scattering. So it is also given by tau is proportional to r square by s. Photon diffusion time is proportional to r square or this mean free path S. The mean free path S is inversely proportional to the mean photon density also. That means mean free path S is inversely proportional to density. That is, as density is large, mean free path is less. Because if the density is large, the electrons and the gaseous molecules will be very closer to each other. Hence, the mean free path between any two successive collisions will be very, very less. So, yes, mean free path is directly proportional to volume by mass, because density is equal to mass by volume. Here substitute for density. Density is equal to mass by volume. So volume becomes in the numerator. So S is proportional to V by M. And also S is proportional to R cube by M, because volume is equal to 4 by 3 pi R cube. 4 by 3 pi R cube for a star, because it is a spherical in shape. So S is proportional to R cube by M. Call this as equation number 7. From equation 6 and 7, tau is proportional to R square M by R cube. So equation number 6 is tau is proportional to R square by S, mean free path, and S is proportional to R cube by M. Substitute for S in the equation 6. that is r cube by m. So m comes here, mr square over r cube. So tau is proportional to r square by r square m by r cube from these two equations. R square and r square will get cancelled. Only r is remaining. So m by r. Tau is proportional to m by r. Called this is equation number 8. Substituting for E and tau from equation 5 and 8. So from equation 8, substitute for tau, and from equation 5, substitute for E in equation number 2, that is luminosity L is equal to E by tau. We get L is proportional to E. For E, m to the power 4 over r. So m to the power 4 over r, and for tau m by r. So that is into r by m. So m to the power 4 over r over m by r can be written as m to the power 4 by r into r by m. R get cancelled. So L and 1m get cancelled. We will get only m cube. So luminosity of a star is directly proportional to m cube. This expression is in good agreement for the main sequence stars, and this is the relation between the luminosity and mass of the star. That is, luminosity of a star is directly proportional to m cube, and this relation is in good agreement for the main sequence stars only. Along main sequence strip, the mass of the star varies. For the lower part of the curve, mass m increases from 0.1 times the mass of the sun to mass of the sun. In the same region, luminosity varies as the cube of the mass. That is, L is proportional to m cube. While in the upper portion, mass increases up to 2 times the mass of the sun. In this portion, the mass luminosity relation is given by L is proportional to m to the power 4. Observations of thousands of main sequence stars indicate that there is a definite relationship between their mass and luminosity. It has been found that luminosity is proportional to mass to the power of p, where p is between 3 and 4. This means that even a slight difference in the mass among the stars produce a large difference in their luminosity, because L is proportional to m cube or m to the power of 4. Slight variation of the mass gives rise to a large variation in the luminosity. The relationship L is proportional to m to the power of 3.5 does not hold good for white dwarf and gains in binaries, because these are not come under main sequence. So these are the references I have used to make this video. Thank you for watching.